Welcome to the Faith in the Wild podcast, where the path is rarely straight, but always sacred. I'm Nicole Moran.
And I'm Angelica McCarthy. For 20 years, we've been walking this journey of life together, stumbling, rising, and discovering God's presence in unexpected places.
Today, we're creating space for conversation and reflection, inviting you to venture into the wilderness with us, because sometimes the most profound truths are found when we step off the marked trails and trust that we're exactly where we need to be.
So take a deep breath, open your heart, and join us as we explore what it means to have faith in the wild.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Anxious. How are you?
You're really calm for all the things that are on the plate at the moment. Yeah, it's a weird calming feeling. So I think my answer is good, and we can go into why.
Yeah, tell me why. We might as well.
You might as well go for it, right?
Might as well dive right in.
So you ever feel like when you're just sitting in chaos? Like this is how I feel. And it's not like bad chaos. So let me just preface that. It's just like a lot.
No, but chaos is chaos. So it's chaos.
Okay. It's chaos
but identify what that means though for you. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So no worries. No, I'm one person that I feel the amount that's on my plate. I need like a solid 2.5, maybe like another mom / like worker bee.
Person.
Right? Person. Right? Like,
yeah.
If I could clone in a half myself, I think I'd be like, be able to take a little bit more of a breath. However, haven't figured out how to do that. Nor that would also be too many Nicoles hanging around. So we'll stick with this one. But, it's funny so the topic, what did we decide on this week? Faith. So we went through, I can't say we went through, we brought on to the journey.
Right.
Truth. What was that last week? Trust, which was the first week. That was a heck of a kickoff.
Right.
I mean, this week our word was faith. There's a lot of moving parts where that lives for me right now. And the one verse that is just there's two that have been hanging around for me this week. And the one that's weighing heavy right now in my heart is we live by faith, not by sight. And short and sweet.
That's my key one. Yep.
I love these right now. 2 Corinthians 5:7. I have a 1-year-old. Almost. Next Sunday, I will have a 1-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. I can't even put words to the feeling of this right now, but I'm absolutely stoked. So again, we talked about the other week, I've been realizing that moms are the ones who create all these special moments, and not like putting my husband, he's around and he's off for these special moments, but really it's mom who creates these. And so I realized I should probably start thinking about what I'm creating for next Saturday when I host a household of people.
Yeah.
Amazing people and have no expectation, but also hosting all of these people when then I have to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, full days of a heavy job, which I love. And then also decided to put the pedal to the metal a little bit on this job idea, this consulting job idea, which has not only just evolved into this thing that I'm like, oh my gosh, this could happen. Like this, like that whole idea to reality shifts. And
you were present in it, huh?
I'm deep in it.
So in it, yeah.
Obsessed with it. Every waking moment that is not spent on my babies or my husband is spent in that world. Like every minute, which is great, but also chaos, because it's like, how do I wrap my head around all of this, not to get too far ahead, not to get too far back, like just to stay in this happy medium. So I've really been focused on that verse, like we live by faith, not by sight. Like when I go through it, like, oh my gosh, I can't do any of these things, check back, right? Like say a little prayer, center me, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah. And
just keep it moving. Oh yeah. And the washer and dryer broke this weekend.
I just took a breath breathe on that.
So I took my 2.5 and 1-year-old washer and dryer shopping with me this morning. Let me tell you, during nap time.
Oh, it was nap time though. So does that make it hard? Does it make it harder to do things during nap time or easier? like being out in the world versus being at home?
Sometimes my 1-year-old, like Mav's down, he's the 2.5-year-old. So he's down to one nap. So he's solid from like 1:30 to 3:30. Like give him a 2-hour power, like he's good. Little one, Noah, he's in between like the 2 naps a day to 1 nap. And so sometimes he's fine. Like he can go straight through till lunch, take a long nap. Today was not that day. We did really good for about 5 minutes. And then he wanted to make sure his opinion was heard to mediate the situation. He needs to be held for the whole time. And my husband do not produce small children. And so he's heavy. In order to be able to focus on the gentleman who was very gracious with swimming children in the aisle, telling me about a Maytag or GE.
I love that. I know it was probably a little, was it hectic in a way? Or did it feel like it flowed with the situation?
I will tell you, probably a year and a half ago, I would have lost my mind. But coming in these last few weeks and months, focusing my attention and almost feeling like I'm building my armor with spending more time and guiding more time, like in the Word, with God, with faith, working on some things like patience for myself when I'm in these situations. Like, okay, Nicole, you don't have a washer and dryer, but you have friends all around you and in-laws, mother that like, okay, we need to make a laundry day. We make a laundry day out of it. So I'm not putting that pressure and having that grace on myself. There's just a lot of moving parts right now, trying to prioritize them. And then what I can't handle, giving that up, right? Or I should be giving everything. What I decided to do is, so Noah, we left. I took all the information I could, take a lot of pictures of things, and we went to the park. And we had just some solid outside time because that centers everybody.
Yeah.
Including me. And so
for those that don't know it, we're saying it right now.
Yes.
Centers everything.
Everything. So we got some sunshine, some fresh air. We did a little rock climbing. I even participated because, let's be honest, I needed to do a little activity. I chased my 2.5-year-old around and it was great. We had a great time.
Well, I've got so many chills for you in the good way. Good chills.
And then, and this is the moment that I was like, okay, you see me. I came back and there, my neighbor's got a little black lab puppy. And I can't tell you, since losing Roxy, I have missed terribly. My other friends have dogs and stuff. There's just something about a black little puppy dog. Like that black lab, chocolate labs are my thing. Don't tell Zach.
Well, we are recording. We are recording.
Oh, goodness. Just the most cute thing. So it was fun. The babies were playing around with the puppy. So I am eerily calm at the moment because those are the moments that I'm just like, I'm not alone. Let's just have faith. I'll have the focus when I need to have the focus and just let it up when you don't have to. And
woo!
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, the thing about faith just isn't push that button and it does this. It will change with the weather. It can change with the weather. One moment you're great, and that next moment, we had talked about, you said you were either at church or you were in one of your groups, you were talking about remembering.
Rhythms of remembrance.
Yes. Ever since then, I've been writing in the sense of remembering to be present, remembering that, breathing in God's love, peace, whatever that is, and breathing it out. And so it's that remembrance part, that staying in that moment. It also makes me think about worry and where that shows up, worry and anxiety. You know, I started saying I was anxious. So, okay, let me come back and remember the presence and breathe in faith, understanding and his guidance. What am I getting emotionally worked up with to be able to come back to faith, come back to presence, patience, all those things that ground me so that I can keep it moving. And that's where I've been sitting with faith lately. It's more how things show up emotionally, how emotion can really dictate thought and action and completely take me left field, take me external, take me just off of that path in which I don't know the answer to the path. You know, it's something that I'm figuring out and I'm seeing and he's showing me, but it's staying in the presence of what he's showing takes so much faith and trust. He's getting ready to take me so off the path that I've seen and know. So it's that remembrance is definitely key for me, and just how I show up emotionally.
Yeah, thanks for saying that and bring that up, because I think that's definitely something that is on my mind, and I'm sure on the mind of a lot of others I've had conversations with. We've been talking about the wilderness, and I think everybody's wilderness is different, right? So it might be similar, but I think those are words like anxiety and overwhelm. Even these moments where I feel calm, I feel this sense of, all right, I'm gonna get it. I have faith in him. He's going before me in all of this and knows what tomorrow brings. Like, I don't. Nobody else does. And so there's a piece of this that it's like giving up some of that control in the external, which goes against a lot of, I don't even know what you call it these days, but like the mainstream thought process, which is hard to stay within. And so I feel like doing this in these last few weeks and these podcasts and talking through things has really been helpful for myself, almost as a practice for an athlete. For us, it's just like preparing for this weekend. It's just one thing after another. And I'm not saying that I haven't been like, oh gosh, why are we doing this? Or having these hard conversations, or self-complaining sometimes. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? How do I recenter myself? How do I refocus? And what does that lens look like to refocus? And we're only human, and I'm going to keep failing forward, constantly tripping over as I try to grow. But I think the one statement that I said last week was from our service: faith is refusing to forget. And then that subset was like that rhythm of remembrance. It's just like that thing. It's like, bring it back. Let's just bring it back, right? Just like a soundtrack. Let's bring it back to that.
That's where what you said about practice kicks in. That word really resonates with me, because it's just something that needs that. If you see anything we do as a practice, like literally everything we do, it takes so much weight off, whatever it could be,
Right. Because, I can self-identify as a high achiever and all these other things. And so myself feeling like I'm out of control is really, what is that? Why do I need to hold on to this? What is emotionally charging me that I can control or not control? And why am I giving it that space to take it on? That is a long journey for me, but I feel like taking steps in the right direction is visiting what faith really means, right? And I think this is a word that I want to dive into, and not just for this week, but continue on as we continue these conversations. And because I didn't really know I don't know how to thoroughly define it, but that faith refusing to forget is just hanging around right now. And did you read Deuteronomy like 6 and 8? Are those around you at all? This is a good one.
No, I haven't really been in Deuteronomy lately.
This is a fun one. Spend some time reflecting on 6 and 8. This is Deuteronomy 31:8. It is the Lord who goes before you. He will be with you. He will not fail you, nor will he forsake you. Don't be afraid. Don't be discouraged. And that's 8. The one thing that I really liked about Deuteronomy 31:6 is it says, be strong and courageous. Our first week when we were talking about trust, the song God is Not Against Me, that's how they start it. You call me strong and courageous. So 31:6, it says, so be strong and courageous. Don't be afraid and don't panic before the Lord your God will personally go ahead of you. He will not fail you or abandon you. And it's just like, he will never leave you. He goes before you. Like, I think the line of the Lord himself goes before you and will walk with you. When we think about it with a practice, you think of a coach or a mentor, somebody that's like, I want to be with that person. That person is leading me in whether it's, if you're just doing a workout or whatever, because you see them as somebody who's been there. They've been through whatever stage you're at and moving through it. And it's like, God's been everywhere before us. He knows exactly what's happening. And will always be beside you. And I think that's something that I'm working on. I hear it, but it's like letting it really get down deep. And so I think that's the journey where I'm at. My faith is feeling it and acknowledging it and being with it all the time and being vulnerable in that, which is, again, been talking about, or I've talked about the last few weeks, but that's really where faith has been sitting with me.
Yeah, I forget where I saw this, but it was speaking to the fact of not being in the position of looking behind your shoulder and asking for his guidance as you're looking over your shoulder. And this obviously speaking to like he's ahead of you, like beside you and ahead of you. Like that's so fulfilling. That is such a comforting, amazing thing to feel. And so in the end, that's all that I know. What does faith look like in those moments where you don't feel, but you still remind that presence? I think that's where that embodiment for me also is starting to really pay attention to breath. And even if it's that deep breath in and out, and okay, he's right here and flowing from there. I'm starting to navigate with that type of well-being type practice, how I can bring continued faith more consistently into my space. And it's with the breath, because we do it all day, every day. And paying attention to our breath, it's an anchor. It can really center us. The more I practice that, it's kind of something that I'm just, as I navigate where next is supposed to, where we're flowing next, it's definitely in that embodiment space of, with how chaotic and complex the world is, we got to come back. And coming back, that's where the education is. That's where that self-awareness, so we can become closer to God or go deeper to a little higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to hear and see the people that are so overly caught up in it. I can feel my neck I got to tighten up, because that just makes me feel like, oh, no. It's we gotta come down, we gotta center, we gotta focus. And it's all a part of the process, honestly. So what does God want for his body of people, or this land? Getting back to the essentials of why we're here.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting topic. And I want to go down that lane if you're okay with that.
Yeah, we can flow.
When you're leaning into faith forward, taking a step into the unknown or into something that feels hard, it's a very different process. Within my career, I like to see how much I can put in my day. I've been an adjunct professor. I've worked a full-time job, and I went back to school to get my MBA. And I think of those days, and then I think of my days now, and I'm like, oh gosh, how did I do that? Or what was I doing? And I think about, I'm like, oh, that's so great. And it's like, oh, how'd you do that? But there's so much that I sacrificed within building relationships with others. My faith was not in the forefront of these growth opportunities that I thought I should be chasing after. Even family, I've missed out on some things that I can get back. Going into this next phase for myself, I really feel like God has been he's loud. He's loud, right? I am paying attention. It's like, okay, how do I find that balance to activate through him, right? What his purpose is, and being faithful in that versus what I think my purpose in this is. And so that's one thing. I was talking to a girlfriend the other day, we had some coffee, and she's like, how do you have patience in what you're so passionate about right now? And it's like, how do you have patience and not just like, okay, go. And I really spent some time over that. Like I answered it, but I really spent some time over the last few days thinking about it. And I think it's faith. That was my immediate answer. And then I dissected it down for the next couple of days. And we all got together again last night. And I'm like, I think that's really what it is. It's faith and ensuring that I have him prioritized first, being God, my family, and then this next passion trip. And through those levels of prioritizing this, I will succeed. And it might not look like what at the timing I want it, but I know he will provide so much more and be so much better in the long run for this. And just serving him, working through him on these next steps. It's also terrifying because I'm like, oh gosh, I need a nap.
I mean, the brain uses so much of our energy.
But I don't know. Where are you? Because I know you're spending a lot of time figuring some stuff out and what those next steps are. Where are you today compared to a month ago when we were chatting? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking. Thank you. Where am I? I think I'm deeper, which means when I'm deeper, I'm more broad too. And I can see a little bit more clarity today versus last week. That's a hard question because I am just all over the place today as far as not having that intentional time. I would say right now, I feel like I'm in the weeds of the wilderness right now. Maybe there are some vines catching up my ankles a little bit. And I just want to bring to the fact of the wilderness and wanting it to be like the yellow brick road, where yeah, you have trees on the side, but the road is paved beautifully. You're gonna meet some people along the way, but it's not the yellow brick road. I've had this visual for a while now of seeing the Y, seeing where it stops, thinking that it's one or the other. And then next thing you know, this little path right in the center is just hanging out there. And it's like, well, wait, maybe I'm not supposed to go here. Obviously, that was months ago. So that has led me to this. Like, I know I'm center, and what are the sides? I don't even know what right and left is. It's down the center, and the weeds are so thick, but I feel good in it. The hardest part is trying to explain it to people that don't really understand. And my husband is not of the same like spirituality as I am. So with that, there are some things that he's seeing in me and shifts in me that unless he asks, he's like, what? Like he is seeing how I'm up, down, all around, which is very interesting how we perceive ourselves in it. And then how people that are the closest to you could be perceiving your path and the weeds and all the things. But even then, whether he's versed in spirituality or not, it's my journey. So I feel good in it. I feel intentional. I feel that I'm actually stepping into my fullest potential, which I've been saying that I'm doing for years, but then still feeling like if you were on that hamster wheel of ending up feeling like, okay, you got that burst of yes, cool, highest, fullest potential. Honestly, it's doing the things that you think are best for you in that moment for highest potential. And actually, you just get back on this. You end up being on that same wheel. Maybe you change the color or maybe you change the angle you were rolling, but you end up on that same wheel. That's what I feel that the weeds right now are literally taking me out of that wheel. And it's actually a pretty cool thing to be present in it. As long as I remain present, there are moments where, we have distractions all over the place. But yeah, I would say that's where I am right now. Meredith and I are reading The Garden Within. And this third chapter is the good ground in your most powerful life. She talks about these 3 life zones of relationships, purpose, and legacy. These are the 3 dimensions of a powerful life. She bases it off of what happens in the Garden of Eden. It's very interesting how she was starting to describe like that fertile ground and, learning about your powerful life. We were designed for based on what the creator chose to plant. And so relationships with yourself, with others within the relationship zone, and your relationship with God within that. The purpose zone is your community relationships. Then it's the legacy zone, which I haven't gotten into how she describes that. It kind of made me think about how you were describing your relationships and your shift in life to put them in those buckets of God first and then family. Relationships are so important. Relationships aren't literally, they look like this. It's what is the dynamic relationship with self, relationship with God, your relationship with everything has energy to it. And then, legacy. What are you here to serve for the world through the work that you do?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the cloudiest part still. Is legacy really mean, honestly? And then also, what is it supposed to mean to me? And honoring that, I don't know. 2, I'm so different. Anyone's diagram or definition of it is only going to mean so much to me anyway. I'm going to have my own perception and, flowing from there. But yeah, that's where we're at today.
It's a lot. I have a hard time putting all of it into words because it's new space and giving time to really cultivate this land that you're in. I find it interesting that you were calling it the yellow brick road, because it's like, oh, wouldn't that be so nice? For me, it's like, that's in the wilderness, that path. There is that road. And then there's the other one, the rugged road, the less traveled. Go that way because I beat my own drum, or I want to do something new and innovative. It's not following the people on the yellow brick road. Like you were saying, I think you said this so well. Those are my paths. Those aren't his path.
Mm-hmm.
And giving space to allow him to work through me, to take me on more of the tough mudder route of who knows what's up next, but trusting he will put the people next to me that need to lift me over that wall. He will provide whatever financial means are needed at that time when your washer and dryer break, when you're taking on these new things in your life, and just giving it to him. I think I struggle with that because it's a control thing. And
yeah,
if it doesn't make sense to me from like, frontal lobe perspective, I struggle. I'm like, okay, I believe, I'm listening. All right, what next? But it doesn't necessarily always flow that way.
Yeah. As you just said that, I heard surrender and I felt my shoulders drop. That took me forever to embody what surrender, what that really means. So you can let something go and still you're holding on to it, you know?
I think that comes easy when people hurt you. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's like, and that could be in anything. It could be like, hopefully not physically, but it could be like emotionally. It could be even like as you're coming up with new ideas or outside the box and people don't understand. Sometimes it can come off as painful. At least I feel that way, especially for people that I truly love, because I think they have the biggest power to do that, which is a scary space to begin with when you have that type of love in a relationship. Wherever that lies, I think they have a lot of weight that can happen there. I think also being okay to stick the path and going back to practicing. He will stand by you. You will fail. People won't get it sometimes. Going through the Bible, remembering people didn't get it, right? I just keep going back to Moses because it's what we're talking about right now. And like, people didn't get it. There's water there. How am I going to get to the other side, right? When you get there, there's no food. He's like, I got this. Just give me a second. And he plenty of food for everybody. But it's just like, how do you stay on the path he has for you? When there's so much, not only, I think we can talk internally, which we've been spending some time with, but even like the external of the other people on different paths that feel like you should be here or you should be there intentionally. But that's some of the struggle that I have with.
Yeah, same.
Staying focused, being on that path that he has for me when it doesn't make sense to others. And I don't have the words to deliver to them to make it make sense in their space.
So what's the answer to that? Do you feel like you have the answer of the how? I don't like asking how questions lately, but I think it's a good one that you just asked.
There's something that Zach and I have been practicing a little bit. And you know this, I don't know if I've talked about it on this podcast, but you and I have talked about it. It's called the Marriage Journal. It's out there.
Yeah.
It's put on by a company called Beating 50%. And mainly it's just space for us. It's space for us every week to touch base. Where are we at? And not just like, hey, how was your day? It dives into how can I pray for you? How can I be there for you? Support you? What are your dreams? What are some highs and lows? It's very intentional time. And one thing that I love my husband with all of my heart. We are very different when it comes to approaching anything, which is a lot of fun, but it can also be a lot of work. And we both are very much willing to put that in. Sometimes it's like, how can I tell him or have a conversation with him of what my needs are in this space? And maybe it's not that I can find the words to be like, this is what's going on, and then he guesses how to do it. One thing we've been working on these last couple of weeks is this is what I need from you at this time. It might evolve, it might change. I don't need you to understand it fully, but this is what I need from you. If I get it, showing praise and thanks.
Yeah.
and serving him, right? We talk about others, but serving my partner, and how do we keep building each other, right? It doesn't necessarily mean it has to make sense to me or to him. How do we keep ping-ponging this where it's practice, right? You're building your armor, your truths for your journey, but by bringing your partner along and building that path. We're still working on it, but like that's something that was helpful. Shifting the question of like, how can I help you? Because I'm like, please don't ask me that again. Like, love you. Please don't ask me. Please don't ask me. I don't know what to tell you. Actually spending time in these moments to say, okay, how do I, especially with these two little ones in our jobs, like how do we create, I needed space. I needed brain space. So how do I offload some of that? Having that conversation of this is in my world. I need you to take 50% of that right now for me to be able to show progress. And then because he's helping, that's also a motivator, right? To like, okay, like he's in it. He's in it. He might not get it. He's in it.
Yeah.
I think there'll always be people that just don't get it, but also don't want to get it. And then you have the people who don't get it, but also want to see nothing but amazing things for you, and trying to keep them around a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a sense of openness to it. I'm not asking anyone to understand anything, but as far as that closest inner circle, if you truly get it, bang, awesome. And even if you don't, it's just that sense of presence within it and openness. We need those different sounding boards in all the relationships that we have in this life. And the ones that really don't care, then bye. Yeah, you're not.
Like that's a big thing, right? Like also being okay in that space to be like, thanks, but no thanks. And having that wherewithal to be like, you know what, this is in a space that I need to stay in. I think that can even be hard. You know, if you're looking for how to figure this out, sometimes that's a space to start in. Like, hey, this is not a space that aligns with the path that God's leading me on. Respectfully, I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. I'm not going to swipe through whatever that is, or like whatever that median is. Just get rid of it. And it's an interesting exercise because I'm always going to go back to that. Like practice. Once you see that little bit of progress, that little bit of space, it ignites.
We went all over the place with this, and I love it. That's literally what faith is. It took us to all of the different branches with this whole segment. How is your faith going to show up the rest of today? How are you going to be in the practice of faith with the rest of your day today?
I requested from Zach to pray for me this morning for focus, because with all of these moving parts happening today, this morning I had a tough time getting the motor going because I was just like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
And going back to tiny rungs, Tiny rungs. It's like, how do I just keep chipping away, giving space for enjoying the outside, the refreshing part of not having to need to do this until this time. I have this until this time. I have this, the rigidity in which I feel I need to control things, letting that go. So there's a couple phone calls that I will be having today that line up to hopefully building a business plan that I really want to start putting some pen to paper with to make happen over the next few weeks. So I have a couple conversations today, and I'm having faith that I know what to ask. I know what to say. I also don't know where they're going to go. Not giving rigidity in the fact of this is what I want out of this phone call, giving the space of the faith to say, use me in this moment. Like I have no problem just reaching out to random people to talk to them. So like, that's also a thing. Giving me the words, giving me the questions, and letting me see what your purpose is. Going back to pay attention. His purpose is not what my purpose of the phone call is. So I'm really putting some faith in that, and that I just have the energy to do it and stay focused during those times, because I think that's going to be really challenging. I struggle doing this type of work in the evenings, especially you know, with the two little ones.
It's always funny seeing like the 9 to 5, 5 to 9 for like, people always say the 5 to 9 is your entrepreneurial time. It's like, actually, no, that's when I'm the least creative at that time. It doesn't work.
The only way I succeed is I almost like give myself homework for that time.
Yeah.
Be productive in. But that homework is created at 8 a.m., 7 a.m. that time of the day. I know I'm not going to be able to stay focused, or there's too many moving parts. So that's where I'm really leaning on some faith right now in that segment. I think also really like a washer and dryer tomorrow, because we have 50 people coming. And I'm like, when are we going to do wash? So having faith for that and giving me peace, because I want to be able to focus on these conversations and be present for my family at the same time. So there's a lot of moving parts that I jammed into today, and I wouldn't be able to get through it if it wasn't for him. I'll tell you that right now with the mindset that I had.
Love that.
How about you?
I'm not sure. And I say that in a way of, I could go down 5 million different routes. My faith for the rest of today is honestly just being in flow.
All right.
That's where my faith is. I've got the list of things that are starting to really pile up now, but the sun is so bright today. The temperature is warm today. I think flow and what is outside is probably calling me more. And then that'll lead into how the rest of the evening flows, and with intentionality. How do I be more in flow?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Love that for you.
Thank you.
How do you feel from the beginning of this conversation until now? Reflecting.
Oh, good question. Thank you for reflecting. I actually feel a lot better. I feel more on my feet. And I feel open. How about yourself?
Well, I always love talking with you. It always gets a part of my brain going. That's just so exciting. Again, having relationships. I love my husband, and we have a great relationship, and we have great conversations, and surrounding myself with others that expand different capacities, right? You were making mention of that in part of your conversation. And I'm like, I love that, because it's your soundboard. What is your internal soundtrack, but also the importance of having your own soundboard. I love that statement. For me, that's what this time is. And it's very sacred time for me. And not only in this relationship, but also making sure that I'm paying attention to the others that are around me as well. I give a lot of kudos to this. And I think I say it all the time that I'm really proud of us, because I think hard is hard, and continuing to show up not only for ourselves within this, but for each other in this, and for both of our ecosystems. I think this is an important space. And so that's what I think of every time we kind of come into the closing of these segments. If you haven't said good job today to yourself, just do it. That's it.
I've been putting off getting my car serviced for months. So good job, Angelica.
And then the other thing with this, try this exercise. Next person you go see, go give them a high five.
Yeah.
Just go give them a high five. Just a soft high five. There's the connection, the emotion, and you will never frown when you give somebody a high five.
No.
So
yeah,
smile. Be intentional, and then also be fun and give a random stranger a high five, because that would spark an interesting conversation that you might not have had that day.
Yeah. After they look at you sideways.
It's fine.
Yeah. Fine. Use discernment with that.
Yes.
There's a lot of things out there.
But also, it could ignite somebody else too. Yes.
You could.
With a grain of salt.
High five or smile. One of the two.
Good afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That too.
Start with that.
Greetings. Yes.
We'll get to the high five in the next episode.
Yes. High five someone you know, not a stranger. Just give them a smile and a wave. Oh, waving is fun too. You ever just wave at someone randomly? That's good stuff.
So yeah, where are we going after this?
I was just literally thinking about that. I actually would be curious not having a scene and seeing how we show up. I think that as we continue to be within our own presence and the things that are happening in our lives, we always show up with.
There's a theme.
Yeah, it will come. It already is. So yeah, what if we stay open?
Well, that'll be good.
Awesome. All right. Love you. Hugging you. High five. We should do that every time. We're doing that. All right, ready?
Oh.
Count us down.
3, 2, 1. Wait, no.
Perfect. Was I delayed?
All right. We'll work on it. It'll be practice. We'll practice. We have a lot of things to practice.
Love it. Bye now.
As we bring today's journey to a close, we invite you to carry these reflections into your own wilderness moments this week.
Remember that growth rarely happens in comfortable spaces. It's in the questions, the uncertainty, and yes, even the doubts, where we often discover the essence of ourselves and our faith.
We're so grateful to have you walking alongside us on this path. Until next time, may you trust the journey, embrace the wilderness, and find God in the wild spaces. This has been Faith in the Wild podcast. I'm Angelica McCarthy.
And I'm Nicole Moran. Thank you for listening.
High five.
High five. Love your life.